So, just did a little bit of work at this location here. We have red rest set up at another location. So we got two main streets. So for a while, we had this as the recall, the 289. And then I changed the recall to trunk 2. So I got a 5-second LPI both directions, just because it's a bit of a, there's no proper turning lane, so there's always a bit of pedestrian conflicts here. Straightened out that light, a lot of trucks hit it. So yeah, I just popped in an ASC3. Running red rest at this location, rolling it out at a couple others where we got two main junctions meeting. So there's a little bit of logic set up in the controller. Show you. Where basically it's a little bit different than how some other people run red rest, but I'm running it through two logic statements. So here's the controller here. So we'll go into configuration, go into logic. So here's your first logic statement. Let's just angle this so we can see it. So basically this is a TS1 cabinet. So there's nothing crazy for detection. We're actually only using Doppler radars here, so I have to lock the calls on yellow for 2 and 4. We're only running, it's only 2 phases, even though it technically should have a phase per direction, but it doesn't here. So basically, if 2 and 4 is off, it will turn on logic flag 1. So basically, if no cars are at the intersection, logic flag 1 comes on. You can saw that it was just true for a moment there. And then you go to 2, and then it says if LP flag 1 is on, or logic program flag, the logic processor flag, logic processor delay for 10 seconds, and then it says to set red rest ring 1 and 2 on, otherwise turn it off. So the lights are turning yellow now. So there's a car on that other direction. So once this other car goes, this may become true. Oh no, this car's coming, but I'll show you in a sec. So there's also a third logic statement, and it basically says if any preemption is active, then set logic flag 1 off. So if this is in red rest and a fire truck happens to approach, then it will turn off the logic flag, and it will trigger the direction anyway, but the logic flag should be off. So now the flag, you can see the flag is on, and this is gonna get, oh, there's a car coming there. So anytime there's a call, it will reset the logic statement. So the timer will reset every single time. So now the flag's on. There's cars coming, so it's going to gap out, but it's going to give them the phase green again. So what it did there was that it basically completely terminated and put it back to red rest because it dropped the call, but a car had showed up at the last second, so because it was able to serve that phase first before phase 4, it just recycled the green. But this is kind of a good location for this because a lot of people tend to cut people off turning left, pedestrians crossing, all that kind of stuff. So it's just it can be a bit of a dangerous spot, despite the fact that it's only 50 kilometers an hour here. So at least it will just, people see the red and it will just get them to slow down a little bit. There's a couple off ramps that I'm trying this out at as well. especially where two main junctions are meeting. But yeah, so, and this is one of our only locations where we have horizontal signals, and that was just because when this intersection was designed, they were supposed to be vertical, but the overhead wiring didn't allow for the vertical clearance, and you can already see this signal here has been hit by transport trucks turning. So that will actually, that backplate will have to be replaced, and these signals may have to be slightly moved up. But yeah, other than that, the pole mount cabinet, it's old Taycell, it's still in pretty good shape. Right. So now there's no cars coming. Oh, there's a car coming, but it's going to gap out, and then you're going to see the call come up, and then green. So instead of saying next, it was actually going to go to red rest, but then a car came in at the last second in the opposite direction. So it re-triggered it to green. Yeah, no, pet recycle's on for both directions, so if you're late, if you get it on time before the light turns green, you'll get a 5-second LPI. And you got 5 seconds in both directions, since we don't have a main street technically here, if they're both main. But it's gonna just lock the phase 4 call. So once it changes, so it's green, boom. So as long as you hit it within the amount of maximum time left, so there's 30 seconds in each direction of the 40-second dynamic max for both. 16-second ped clearance, so I was able to get it in time. You can see it's 0, gapping out to 2, locked call. And you can see it transferring between locked and call because they're only advanced sensors, which is why the calls have to be locked. Otherwise, the call would drop once the cars come to a stop at the stop bar, and then the lights would never change for them. So. You can see this is a bit of a, like I said, a bit of a dangerous intersection with transport trucks. So, and their trailers tend to hit these ped signals, so they might have to be moved over. And those overhead signals just have enough clearance. I honestly think they should be raised, but it'll be another problem for another day. So there you go.